Hi, I'm Sarah Kay.
And I'm Joanna V.
Oh,
thanks for coming. Thanks. No, sit down. Sit down. No, sit. Stop. Come on. I love you. That's amazing. Did you know I did that?
Biting all the apples. It's the podcast that surreptitious serpent warned you about.
Welcome to Biting All the Apples, where two gals discuss one radical book.
The best-selling critical and comedic masterpiece from 1895, The Woman's Bible by Elizabeth Cady Stanton. I'm Sarah Kay.
I'm Joanna V.
Shoo-wee!
Shoo-wee!
Shoo-wee! We had an unexpected pause due to a temporary illness caused by traveling with children and their novel back-to-school germs. But we are back. We are back. Back with the big B. The Bible, the Woman's Bible. And in this episode, we are responding to our Victorian ladies' analysis of the Romans and the Corinthians.
Love those Greeks.
You're going to want to have a stress squeeze ball on the ready, or maybe a stiff drink if that's your thing, because they get into what some old guys prescribe for marriage and head coverings. It's not cool, and it's not even stuff the bearded lord said.
The bearded lord?
I was like, there needs to be more nicknames
I
for
love
him.
it.
Sometimes I call him Big J.
Oh, Big J.
Big J.
You know about Big J,
Yeah.
right?
Or sometimes I call him Commie J.
Commie J.
Yeah.
Nah.
But like with other fallacies and misinterpretations in this 2,000-year-old book, the messages and influence still affect us to this very day. And we're glad to have you with us on this very day.
Welcome.
That's right. Since it's been a minute, how about we refresh everyone on our disclaimers?
Here we go. Biting All the Apples covers analysis of religious texts. Some listeners that are religious out of the need for the illusion of certainty may find the content offensive. Biting All the Apples also discusses historic texts and feminist movements. We recognize that individuals, groups, and alternative movements have been left out of mainstream history. We will note that whenever possible. We are open to additional information provided to us in the spirit of expanding knowledge.
Ooh, how's your knowledge spirit?
Well, you know, in a world where knowledge is disappearing, like in our museums, my knowledge is going great. I'm looking, but I am afraid it's disappearing.
It is. That's why we
I got to gather it.
Gather
right
it
now.
and disperse it.
Yeah, let it out there.
That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, it's my purpose.
I'm about to disperse a cough.
Ooh, I think something came up, Sarah Kay. Put it over there aside.
Ooh, I'm on it feels like a long recovery, but I guess 7 days is...
That's average. 7 to 10.
7 to 10 for a gnarly...
14 to lose all the mucus.
Really?
At least in
your mucus experience?
Yeah, which is extensive. I have extensive knowledge.
I am highly qualified.
I am.
Yeah.
I think about mucus a lot.
Yeah.
Like, because it really is. It's fascinating that you can produce so much. And you're like, it's just women can make babies, but all of us can make mucus.
All of us can make mucus, and sometimes so much.
We could maybe make mucus babies.
It feels like we could be doing something with mucus. Could that be like an alternative energy situation?
A lot. There's a lot of mucus in the world.
Yeah, especially now.
It just gets put into tissue papers. I think
it's got to stop.
I think it could be an alternative fuel source.
Has anybody looked into this?
I think we're starting it right now.
If we didn't have to fiddle-faddle around with dumb political crap, we could be talking about serious solutions.
Who needs fossil fuels when every human on this planet is producing the next fuel source?
And if you need to let the mucus fossilize first, okay.
Let it go.
How do we do that?
We'll get it to the container. I love this idea.
I do too.
I'm calling all my chemical engineering peeps that are looking for a new thing.
Especially whatever's going around right now.
So much.
There's so much happening.
Just falls right out of keeps going.
Yeah. Well, I hope you don't catch it.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Try not
to. I got the air purifiers. I got the Lysols.
Doesn't RFK think germs don't exist?
I mean, he must.
Or viruses? There's some misinformation, like...
Some?
Well, I don't mean... I'm sorry. I meant to be like, there's a specific, what do they call it? The pipeline of health misinformation that leads people to this belief that viruses don't exist or germs don't exist, something like that.
It's probably him because he swam in that cesspool water with his grandchildren.
Yeah.
And sadly.
And has anybody heard from those kids?
I haven't seen the kids
Exactly. He probably put them in a mucus farm. Maybe he's in.
He's in on it. He already knew our thoughts.
He already knows what's going on. Yeah. You're like, there's only some misinformation. Just a skosh.
All of it.
People are so weird.
Humans
are weird.
They're not all the brightest bulbs in the boxes.
Nope. But I'll tell you, mucus. So
that is the future.
Oh man, I bet we lost a bunch of people with the mucus thing.
Oh,
no, everybody.
sorry.
You know what? Everybody.
And it's the time. Everybody went back to school. We're confined in buildings that have terrible air quality.
So I'm like, relax, grab a box of Kleenex because you are going to be crying.
You're going to cry when you hear about marriage laws.
Exactly. So we're getting into it. Every episode now, I'm like, we're almost done.
I know. It's kind of crazy. I love this because I don't think I've highlighted a book this much since I was an undergrad.
I used to never write in books.
I mean, I got my graduate, but by then I was like, I'm not highlighting that. I think I got it.
Yeah. But I was in grad school. I was like, please, Heidegger and Foucault. I'll tell you.
I'm a graduate student. But this, I need to highlight.
Yeah, it's super good. We have the first, again, a couple short chapters.
Yeah.
How do we say this? Epistle?
They're epistles, but basically.
Epistles to Romans.
Letter.
To the Romans. Oh.
It's a letter.
I'm so glad that you're here.
Epistle.
This is why I don't do this by myself.
A letter to the Romans.
So it's a letter to the Romans. Who's it from?
Paul.
Oh,
Paul. Oh, I got
listener warning. We're anti-Paul.
Totally. Totally. And I'm confused about the history of Paul because I'm looking him up. I hear different things. So I'm like, even the historians don't know.
Right.
Like one time I read he was born 5 years after Jesus died.
I'd heard 30.
And then I read that he ran into Jesus 2 years after Jesus died. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Can somebody line this up appropriately and accurately?
Yeah, actually, this brings up...
Why is it so hard to find out the most important letters?
Right.
And this dude didn't even meet Jesus until he was already dead, and he came back, and he just ran into him in the road. I didn't read that deeply into it, but I'm assuming when Jesus is appearing to people, he's not there very long.
That's why they believe that he was like divine or something. I think one of our responders writes a vision.
So were there mushrooms on the walk to Damascus?
Yeah. I wonder
did he run into some peyote?
What kind of psychedelics did they have back then?
And did they know? Maybe he ate a bad piece of fruit.
I know. But again, so this would be number, 20 million of a man having a vision.
And everybody believes it.
Everybody's like, cool, you can like write the rest of this book.
Rhoda, though, she sees something. No one
gave a shit about Rhoda.
They're like, you didn't see that.
She's like, yeah, and the dude's right outside.
And he's right here. And they're like, oh, hey!
Yeah. I mean, come on.
So Paul saw Jesus, and now he's essentially a prophet, but they call him an apostle.
An apostle. So here's a quick cue. So, and I never even thought of this when I was going to catechism. So Jesus came back from the dead. Then what happens?
I think he was just like...
Did he go on like a world tour?
I know.
Did he go back in the thing?
I know one guy didn't believe it was him, and he stuck his hand in the wound.
Oh, yeah. I love that part.
Doubting Thomas.
He's like, let me see that wound.
Let me stick my hand in there. Oh, hey, Jesus. It is you. Do you have a napkin?
He's like, no, but I got this loincloth.
Who does that? Who does that? Like, I'm telling you, if I ran into you, I knew you had been stabbed, I would not ask to stick my hand in.
Did he do it with his like hand wound? Yeah, I remember this. So, but after that, so he came again, he rose, then where did he go?
Well,
did he go visit his mother?
No.
What did he do?
It depends on who saw him.
See?
We don't have Jesus's point of view.
And then if he went somewhere after and people keep on talking about how he's going to come back, I'm like, well, where'd he go?
Yeah, and why wouldn't he go see the woman that dressed him and put him in the tomb and like stayed with him while he was being tortured?
Why wouldn't he go see Pontius Pilate, or who's the dude that sent him? Was
Pontius Pilate? No, Pontius Pilate just was like, I didn't kill him, you did.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
He was like,
but
I'm not going to do it. You have him.
But if I came back from the dead, I would totally go and like spook out the people that messed with me.
Ooh, but yeah, he was.
And maybe there's a hidden Bible book that's called the Revenge Tour of the Commie J.
It was not a. But I think he would hopefully go see the women that like were at his feet.
You'd think. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
He probably just went to go play like fantasy football with his dude friends.
Just ran into people on the road to Damascus.
I really need to know. And there's got to be, actually, I'll have to ask some,
So they give you the
anyways.
letters. They give you the letters that Paul wrote, but why wouldn't they give me, I want the dissertation of when he saw Jesus.
Yeah, we're going to get into that.
Where's that book?
They're like, if you have to ask, you don't believe, and you're just going to hell. What we do have in this epistle, which is a letter, thanks, Joanna, to the Romans, it was this weird, they picked Romans 16. I'm like, 16?
16.
1 through, 13, something like that.
1 through 15.
Oh, my eyes. So, but it's just like, I commend unto you, Phoebe, our sister. And he's just like saluting and giving props to people. And I was like, is this like an Oscar speech?
Yeah. Well, he's like, hey guys, I want you to thank all these people. So he came into town, wrote this letter, and basically like this is, I'm assuming like a speech. Like he gave a speech and they wrote it down and then they were like,
oh, okay,
we better preserve this. Put that in with the other good books.
With the other.
But yeah, I thought his letter was really good because it was like, hey, guys, you got to like all these people because they've helped me. And a lot of them were women.
A lot of them were women.
It was like woman,
yeah,
woman.
it's like
and
Priscilla.
Names.
It's Priscilla, Mary, Tryphena, and Tryphosa.
Yeah. And then
Rufus's
mom.
Yeah.
And his own mom.
Right. And Julia.
And
Olympus.
Nereus's sister.
Yeah. All these chicks.
And he's like, you need to assist them because they're amazing. And that's especially Phoebe.
And so that's Elizabeth writes in her short, she just has a 2-paragraph response. Phoebe was a deaconess and was probably employed in visiting the sick and in teaching the women in the doctrines of the church. It is just a short selection. And Elizabeth writes, and then we also have her responses, EBD, I love her.
I love her.
And it really, this is about, they selected this to say, again, we're seeing women were an integral part of all of this.
Yeah,
they were apostles.
You won't let us be at the head of the church, and you won't let us be in the government. But here's your hero, Paul, saying, hey, look at all these ladies, and they are the best. They're the best. And she says, in good works, men have always found a reserved force in the women of their generation. Paul seems to have been specifically mindful of all who had received hospitably and hospitably entertained him. And then goes on to say, men have always been thankful to women.
Yes. The last
for
sentence.
Serving them.
Yep.
And then she says, then the Marys, the Phoebes, and the Priscillas are ordered to keep silence and to discuss all questions with their husbands at home, taking it for granted that all men are logical and wise.
Ooh, that's the Elizabeth I know and love.
Snap, snap, snap.
Yes.
Snap it. Yeah. Like, thanks for the props, but can we have some backup so that I can have my space at the table? Women want their space.
EBD's response is even more of a takedown.
Yeah, she's like a real academic, I feel.
Yes.
Even the way she writes.
She really is. Her first sentence I loved already. Martin Luther had good cause to declare, there is something in the office of a bishop which is dreadfully demoralizing. Even good men change their natures at consecration. Satan enters into them as he entered into Judas as soon as they have taken the sup.
Yeah, and there was a lot. So funny, I looked up Martin Luther because he's the guy that started Lutheranism.
Yes, yeah.
Even back then, all the corruption, it was crazy corrupt. And it was at the time of when they weren't picking a pope and everything. And he was like, y'all are corrupt. Like, I'm getting out. And even back then, he was saying, and Martin Luther was born in 1483, died in 1546. And he was like, listen, Catholics, you've gone bad. You've gone corrupt. And he pulled out and did some reforming. And then there's Lutheranism. Lutheranism. But he was seeing the corruption and the weaponization of the church.
Yeah.
On civil matters that aren't spiritual. So he wasn't having it.
He wasn't having it, but we all know what prevailed.
Yeah, it's still around.
This part I like too. There is strong reason to believe that the apostle Priscilla, in cooperation with her husband, the apostle Aquila, performed the important task of founding the Church of Rome. For Paul, writing to the Christians, admits that he himself has not yet visited that city. There's no proof whatever that Peter ever went to Rome at all, but on the contrary, much proof that he wished to confine Christianity to Jewish converts.
Yeah. So they split off even from Paul. And they were like, well, everybody should, it's so funny because so Paul came and stayed with those two and they taught him tent making, right? And then they were like, yeah, I get it. I love this Jesus guy too. I love it. I want everybody to hear about he's a wonderful human. There's no doubt.
Right.
He's the best of the best.
Great guy.
Sure he's not without flaw, but got some great lessons. And then, but Paul was like, only Jews that convert. And they were like, no, anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Come to Catholicism. So, yeah, they think that Priscilla started the Roman Catholic Church. What?
And I know, which is nuts.
And women still can't be priests.
I know. They're like, that was too crazy. I think I did look into this.
Oh, you did?
Because I get so involved in this book that I'm like, this was 130 years ago. I'm sure some people have like updated.
Yeah.
And there's some people that say that is not entirely true, but I read what their reasoning. I'm like,
what was it?
I was like, it was thin.
Oh.
They're just like, that's not true. She probably did help with, and I'm like, the church? Is that what she helped with? That
didn't exist in Rome until she was there.
Right. So
spreading the good word.
But it would be good, again, if we have any of our biblical scholar people listening.
I
love you guys because, there's people that really know that stuff. I'd love to know the updated version.
Yeah, because it's funny. I was looking for some information and they'll say, they don't use names though. Like, and obviously it's Wikipedia, whatever. But even like in the little Bibles, they'll say the most learned historians of the Bible would say that. But there's no names. And I'm like, how do they...
I know.
Who picks?
Well, and that's...
Is this like the Oscars of biblical history?
And when I do research and find stuff even on some of the religious sites or church sites, I'm like, how are people not insulted by some of this stuff? Because it's so simplified.
Yeah.
That, they don't even get into any of these details. It's very... That's why I'm like, we need the scholars. But it says here, and recognizes a Church of Rome as established in Priscilla's own house. See Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 16. It is highly probable that was the tiny acorn from which has grown the present great oak, the Roman Catholic Church.
I mean, it makes sense.
The inability of modern men to comprehend the position of women in the primitive church is strikingly shown in Chalmers' commentary on the fact that Paul used exactly the same title in addressing Priscilla that he uses in greeting Urbane. Chalmers, I don't have my note on him.
He created the gap theory.
That's Okay.
He didn't create it. He discovered the gap of time in between Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. So the Genesis where they were just like, there was land, water, blah, blah, blah. Men, not men and women, just like human.
Right.
And then the one that was like Adam and Eve and the rib and stuff.
Right.
There's a huge gap. And that's Chalmers doing. And he was Scottish. He was born in 1780, died in 1847. So his gap theory was probably near the end of his life, middle end. Mm-hmm. But so like 50 years before the book was out.
Yeah, we're like
so
influential.
the gap theory was probably pretty fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
the Gap.
Yeah, the Gap.
I wonder if that's what the store's named after.
I'm
probably
sure.
Is.
I'm sure.
We'll just say it is. We're like, and that's how the Blue Jean Company came to be. So,
and the Gap's gonna be like, I
had another quote underlined with like lightning bolts near it.
Oh,
even though you probably do too. But you know what?
I do not have lightning bolts.
But
I do have colors.
Okay, good. It is manifestly due to the modern prejudice which renders the Paul-worshipping male Protestants incapable of comprehending that our great apostle, that's in quotes, by the way.
Our great apostle.
EBD does not like Paul. That's why we're in the, you can tell. She's
we're
like,
together.
She's like, oh, such a great apostle. Paul was not great. Was not a great apostle at all. In those days, but a simple, self-sent tent maker with a vigorous spirit who gladly shared the apostolic dignity with all the good women he could rally to his assistance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Chalmers brought up again, because he conjectures that if Priscilla really did help Paul, it must have been as a teacher of women and children, even when the fact stares him in the face that she was a recognized teacher of the man whom Paul specially and emphatically pronounces his own equal. And she's like, okay, Chalmers, nice job on the Gap, but you're not going to give women props? You're seeing the Gap.
Hey, Chalmers, look at that.
R.I.P.
By the way.
Because he was already dead.
Yeah. By the way, Chalmers. By the way, EBD always comes with receipts in parentheses. She's like, compare here, and she's like, check out Acts, check out Corinthians, and she gives this. Yeah,
that's what I mean. She's like, I got mine.
She's like, I know this shit.
Come on,
do you know this shit? That's what she's saying.
Yeah, and she does know it. I love it. There were a ton of women, but even Paul, and I think he's not that great, is saying it. So they're like, you love Paul. You're saying Paul created this. Listen to all those women. Why can't we? Come on.
Seriously.
Wake up.
I know.
Wake up.
Which would almost make me like...
sense in this next one.
I know. I'm like, that would almost make me like Paul until we get to this.
Yeah.
Epistles to the Corinthians.
You know what I should have looked up? How far apart in years were these letters? Like, okay, you went and talked to the Romans, and then all of a sudden you go to the Corinthians, and you're like a total... Where's your props to the women now? Now you're like, it's all about marriage and women have like no power.
Maybe he had a bad breakup.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know the difference.
I need to know this.
Yeah, because then all of a sudden he's like, okay, you got husbands and wives and you should never leave each other ever. But if the woman leaves, because she might leave, she has to never get married. And you need to just, you have to live as a spinster. And then the men, you really shouldn't leave your wife either.
This is the part that we're talking about. So this is Corinthians 7.
Yeah.
2 through 16, something like that. Don't worry about it. You're not going to really read the Bible. Just kidding.
2 through 16.
But the best is, but if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. And I'm like, I have some questions.
Yeah.
What is put away? In a cupboard? In a coffin? What are we talking about here?
I know. And why the different language? Because it says above it says, unto the married I command, let not the wife depart from her husband, and then, put away his wife. What the?
Yeah, and unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Oh, yeah,
the Lord said it.
The Lord said it, and I'm like, when? Because nobody else said he said this crap.
Well, he met him.
Trust me, he met him. But the Lord let not the wife depart from her husband. And the very first, the first line, I think it's Corinthians 7:2, Let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife and the husband.
Which sounds nice.
That's nice. But then they get into, yeah, that's fine.
And then they're like, you can never, like, if a woman leaves, you can't ever get married. The men don't have that because basically they're like, men just don't leave her. And then if your spouse does not believe in the Lord, don't leave him because you're the redemption. But he switches because he said, the Lord said, the wife shouldn't depart. And then it says, but to the rest speak I, not the Lord. So this is just Paul.
He's like, this is my own idea here.
If any brother hath a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, don't put her away because you'll save, you want to have anybody, you don't want her out on the own telling people not to believe.
Don't put her away.
Don't put her away.
Even though we don't know what that means. This is all very confusing. I don't know how modern people are like, well, the Bible says. I'm like, you don't fucking know.
You read it and interpret. Tell me put away.
Yeah, you put somebody away. Give me a break. Like Elizabeth says, the people appear to have been specially anxious to know what the Christian idea was in regard to the question of marriage. The Pythagoreans taught that marriage was unfavorable to high intellectual development.
Oh, yeah. I read about them a little bit.
Maybe I'm Pythagorean.
I was like, Pythagoreans. You
like
know what they believed in?
What?
Yes.
Math?
Math. Everything awesome. Was math. Everything created was math. Yeah, and they believed in reincarnation. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened to them?
They triangled out.
It's hard. I would admit. Oh, my God. You're like the octagon right out of here. I think, so.
Okay.
Well, should I even?
Let's just recap. Well, let's just tell them what happened.
I know. We're just going to listen.
We're going to let the cat out the bag.
We are going to let the cat out the bag. We just had
a lovely conversation.
We had the greatest tangent that I think opened up a portal to like understanding the universe, the meaning of life, Jane Goodall.
Oh my God, it was so good.
Yeah. And it's gone because we had a little recording issue.
But here we are. Look at us.
But I think we were tangenting about the Pythagoreans and
their love of math and not getting married.
Right.
Because it hinders
and
the expansion of knowledge.
And then the part that didn't get recorded is I put a call out to the galaxy that I'm going to bring Pythagoreanism back.
Yeah.
It was great. So
yeah, fractals. There were fractals.
So you just missed a whole tangent.
We were basically scientists for a minute.
Yeah, we were. But it's good. So now we have this, and we're just back here to talk about religion. Was that what I was going to say?
No. We're here to talk about Paul and his fallacies.
His fallacies. But the marriage question was a big whoop-de-doo.
Yeah. So and they were like...
This is the important part. Let me read this quote from Elizabeth Cady Stanton, her last sentence.
Oh, yes, that is important.
There are no restrictions in the scriptures on divorced persons marrying again, though many improvised by human laws are spoken of, as in the Bible.
Yeah.
And we hear that all the time, and that's what...
The family values.
The family values crap, where people are like, well, this just, it's not biblical or Christian. I'm like, none of that crap is written in there.
None of it.
More importantly,
it says
Big J...
Bad marriages.
Yeah. It does say stay in bad marriages.
To protect other people from getting into them.
Yeah, exactly. And Big J doesn't mention anything about that crap.
No.
Because they're like, you should just be a monk. Like, you don't.
You got to give it all up to the Lord. If you get married, it's a whole hot mess. You start liking the other person and doing stuff for them.
Exactly.
And where's the Lord? In the dust.
Exactly. And that's pretty much what our other favorite contributors is talking about. And Anonymous, in her response, talks about this. It's like the idea that it's better to love the Lord than to love your wife or husband is infinitely absurd. Nobody ever did love the Lord. Nobody can until he becomes acquainted with him. St. Paul also tells us that man is in the image and glory of God, but woman is the glory of man. And for the purpose of sustaining this position, he says, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. That reminds me of like, and pick a pepper.
Pick a pepper. Pick a peppers. How many peppers did pick a pepper?
Oh, Of course, we can all see that man could have gotten along well enough without women. Like, duh. And yet this is called, quote unquote, inspired. And this Apostle Paul is supposed to have known more than all the people who now are upon the earth.
Yeah.
Come on. No wonder Paul, at last, was constrained to say, we are fools for Christ's sake.
We're just
Yeah.
playing the fool.
I know. I like my note when it says inspired. I was like, ha. Because it's like,
Yeah, it's used as
so even Paul has to be like, the man doesn't need a woman. It's like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Totally. Same. Reverso. Same. Like, it's not a big deal.
Let's do it. Yeah. Then what's your problem with divorce?
Right. I know.
And why can't I have my land? I don't get it. It doesn't say anything about that.
Yeah.
And I also thought it was interesting because he's writing these letters. Jesus is already dead, yet all of these things that he's talking about are from the Old Testament and Genesis. Like,
Yeah. Like this next thing.
yeah.
Or wait, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, no, she even said it there. Like, man is not of the woman, but woman of the man. That's the rib story. That's a bunch of hoo-ha.
It's a total bunch of hoo-ha.
It's a bunch of hoo-ha, and it's been proven, and yet it's still holding up in the court of law in 1895.
I know.
2025.
I know, 2025, going back there. But
Yeah.
don't worry, because we've got a lot more sense in this next passage that makes no sense.
Lots of head covering.
Yeah, this is a head covering passage. It's in Corinthians 11, 3 through 15. And this is gobbledygook. I can't even say what it is. I was trying to say gobbledygook.
Gobbledygook.
It really is. And it just talks about, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
Like,
okay.
my head is a man?
Chill the fuck out, Paul. Like,
What?
and also, why we mention this? Reading that every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. Every woman that prayeth or prophesies with her head uncovered, dishonor her head.
So men are uncovered, women are covered.
Right.
Why?
And
What
then we
is
go, and then he talks about,
gobbledygook.
but it goes back to the idea that angels can get at women's hair.
Which is, again, Old Testament.
Old Testament stuff. So for this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels. But wait, so she has power, but you got to cover it? What are you trying to tell us?
Oh.
Cover your power? I'm into you, Paul. I see what's going on. I'm hip to your shit. Doth not even nature itself reach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him? But if a woman have long hair, it is glory to her, for her hair is given her for a covering.
Yeah. It's really bizarre.
And that's when we talked about, I can think of one gentleman that I stared at for a good, 10, 13 years as a kid who had really long hair on a crucifix.
Yeah, he did. Mr.
did.
Jesus had
Mr.
long, flowy hair.
Yep. He looked like a sexy hippie.
Yeah. He should have covered it because he kind of looked like a woman.
I know. You got to cut that hair.
Should have gave him a veil.
It's just so...
Is this Elizabeth? Yeah.
Yeah, where she says, though these directions appear to be very frivolous, even for those times, they are much more so for our stage of civilization.
Yeah. Like it was frivolous then and more ridiculous now. And they were still they couldn't go to church. You'd get excommunicated.
But it does seem like all general culture, I'm thinking of America specifically.
Okay.
But this is probably the world over. There are people that just believe in following, they're fundamentalists, like the foundational text, just like the constitutionalists, like this is how it's written and thus it will forever be. And that allows for no changes in language, resources, traditions. Like it's so silly.
Yeah, because
especially a book that's 2,000 years old.
Yeah, so much has changed.
Yeah, some stuff has changed.
The one thing that hasn't changed is the corruption of human men.
Yeah, yeah.
Some women, but I feel like they're just following,
please, I wish.
Looking the coattails. I mean, they're evil.
Yeah, never forget Jenny Thomas, but but she's married to, whatever.
She's getting it done, I guess.
She's getting it done. Anyways,
yes.
That's neither here nor there.
And the canon law even uses these Paul type things to show the superiority, the authority, and the headship of man, and the humility and subservience of women.
After that says, the aristocracy in social life requires the same badge of respect of all female servants. In Europe, they uniformly wear caps, and in many families in America, though under protest after learning its significance.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maids always had caps on, and come on, creeps.
Yeah.
And I have this part underlined. Maybe, I don't know if this is in one of your color highlighters.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, go for it.
It is certainly high time that educated women in a republic should rebel against a custom based on the supposition of their heaven-ordained subjection. Jesus is always represented as having long curling hair, and so is the Trinity. Imagine a painting of all these gods with clipped hair, flowing robes, and beautiful hair, and clipped hair. Flowing robes and beautiful hair add greatly to the beauty and dignity of these pictures. And she's like, so why pull from me? Like, you love these photos.
You love these photos.
I got to cover mine.
Yeah.
But you want to look at his?
Uh-huh. What's going on? Oh, what's going on there? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
ECS.
She was just ahead of her time.
And this is LS, who is our gal, Louisa Southworth. And she was like the women's voting activist in Cleveland, Ohio.
I love Cleveland.
I love Cleveland, man. The injunctions of St. Paul have had such a decided influence in fixing the legal status of women that it is worth our while to consider their source. In dealing with this question, we must never forget that the majority of the writings of the New Testament were not really written or published by those whose names they hear. Ancient writers considered it quite permissible for a man to put out letters under the name of another, and thus bring his own ideas before the world under the protection of an honored sponsor.
And that is highly respected now. Basically, there are 14 letters assigned to Paul, but the scholarly consensus, that's what I mean, like who decides who the scholarly consensus is? But they hold that of the 14 letters, only 7 were written by Paul.
Oh, really?
Corinthians was one of them. So we are right in thinking
So
Paul
we are right for not liking Paul.
Paul. Corinthians, Romans, Philippians, Philemon, Galatians, and Thessalonians.
Really?
Yeah. The others most likely written by a disciple using his name to carry the authority.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. So, and she continues, it is not usually claimed that St. Paul was the originator of the great religious movement called Christianity, but there's strong belief that he was divinely inspired, probably where you were like, he saw him.
He saw Jesus.
His inward persuasions, and especially his visions, appeared as a gift or endowment, which had the force of inspiration. There we go, that magical just experience that a man had on his own, and everybody believes it.
Yeah.
Therefore, his mandates concerning women have a strong hold upon the popular mind. And when opponents to the equality of the sexes are put to bay, they glibly quote his injunctions.
Glibly.
These women throughout, we hadn't seen this in a while, but the women say, they're like, this is the type of shit they're throwing back at us when we're trying to, argue for equality. And they're like, well, Paul said. And she's like, he didn't even say it. It was some like rando.
Yeah.
Also, he didn't even know Big J.
Big J wasn't even alive. Oh, I
know.
mean, he ran into him, saw his ghost, but it's kind of iffy.
Also, are we trusting ghosts now? Come on.
Yeah.
Use your noodle,
Come
Think
on.
about it.
LS congratulates herself. We congratulate ourselves that we may shift some of these biblical arguments that have had such a sinister effect from their firm foundations. And, they have. He who claims to give a message must satisfy us that he himself has received such a message. The origin of the command that women should cover their heads is found in an old Jewish or Hebrew legend, which appears in literature for the first time in Genesis. There we are told that the sons of God, that is, the angels, took to wives and daughters of men and begat the giants and the heroes who were instrumental in bringing about the flood. So she's like, Paul, they already did this in the Old Testament.
Yeah. We covered this, just like you had us cover our heads.
And this is like so basic and so right in your face. scholars and politicians, like, so the whole covering of the head, all this crap. You're so in love with Paul, think he created Christianity, and he's just restating what was in the Old Testament.
I know. Conservatives love that crap.
It's weird.
They're like, just tell us the same stuff over and over
again.
again.
Give it to me.
Yeah.
Give it to me from someone else.
If the command to keep silence in the churches has no higher origin than to keep covered in public, should so much weight be given it, or should it be so often quoted as having divine sanction?
No.
Yeah. You're like, let me answer that for you, Louisa.
No, ma'am.
No. So we got our last, this is only 2 verses.
I love it.
Corinthians 14. My note to this verse is barf.
Yeah, because it's like, shut up, ladies.
It is.
Why you speaking?
It actually says, let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law.
So this is my take.
Okay.
Because I read ECS wraps it up, but so Paul is traveling around. He's trying to say, I saw Jesus, listen to me. There's some women that are logical thinkers, and they're in the church, and they're like, guys, I know Paul. Come on.
Yeah. They're like listening to Paul, the tent guy?
Paul. Like, he didn't even put up the pole. I mean, it was falling and it got wet. Yeah, but yeah, because what the heck?
What the heck? And the other verses, and if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for women to speak in the church. Okay, I won't go to church.
Yeah.
Get bent, Paul. I don't,
Kick me out. But yeah, so basically it says the church at Corinth was peculiarly given to diversion and disputation, and women were apt to join in, by golly, and ask troublesome questions.
That's what we're here for.
Oh, dang. Those women were asking
questions.
You was asking some troubles. Men, shut your women up.
Yep.
Let your
That's
woman keep
literally how it is
silence.
To this very day.
Yeah.
They're literally like, you cannot question us because everything I believe about myself will crumble.
Yeah. My masculinity.
Yeah, my masculinity, which, and especially American masculinity completely relies on women being, of them not being women.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you guys, it's so weak. There's other ways
sad,
to live.
Yeah, it's a sad
thing.
situation.
I know. Which is why when I think about, I often comment about the comments we get for feminist posts or see others. And so many men are like, well, if you didn't have men, this and this and that. I'm like, where did you get the idea that that's what feminism means? They do no work or research or thinking about it whatsoever.
They just think that if women have power, they're going to
die or implode. They literally think that. I think from their soul, it's so threatening to them. I'm like, there's nothing about feminism that's that means men should be erased. It's more like, can you guys stop fucking with us, murdering us, taking away our rights? Would that be cool?
I love it. Maybe, keeping my body alive to keep a womb alive while I'm dead. That's a little creepy.
It's creepy. We're not even included in medical research and data stuff. I mean, you're like, come on.
Completely.
But they can't even. So the response to that always is well, it says in the Bible that you can't talk.
Paul said you're not supposed to talk.
Yeah.
So you can't have equal rights.
I mean.
So sorry.
I love
this. And
this.
talk to your husband. But also don't get married.
Also.
Because give it to the Lord.
Yeah. I mean, it's so. No wonder a lot of people that are super, literalists or fundamentalists, that's why they're so miserable. Well, this is a lot to handle.
I hope that their brain hurts when they're trying to make it all connect.
I think they just let the priest do that for them.
Yeah. Yep. They just tell put the words in my mouth.
Yeah, just do this.
I actually just saw a Jordan Klepper thing where he was like, "Oh, so you just like to listen to him?" And the kid was a kid on a college campus, and he was like, "Yeah, he just this guy put stuff in the into words that because I don't really understand the stuff. And Jordan Klepper's like, so you're just repeating what he says? And he's like, well, yeah, because he says it so much, and then I can memorize it, and then I can say it, and I sound good. And he's like, but you don't know what you're saying? He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a young kid. He was like
I know.
early 20s. So like
That's why a lot of the
little depressing.
I think that's why like Joe Rogan and stuff is so popular, because he'll have some people on and they will have, it's almost like pseudo intellectual discussions, and it makes people feel like they're really like learning stuff. I just saw a video essay on how Americans like love to think that billionaires know a lot about physics.
Oh, what?
But you know what I'm talking about? Like you see like Elon and Bezos and Zuckerberg, and they're just like quantum fields and blah, blah. And none of those fuckers know anything about that.
No.
Elon didn't even have an undergraduate in physics.
Yeah.
But
just
people that have, and that is a very highly skilled intellectual pursuit. Like people that are physicists have doctorate degrees.
Yeah. And all
like,
Elon does is go, hey, I like what we're doing. Can I take it and not give you any credit?
Well, even worse than that. Well, this is why I'm like, this does go along with your point. Worse than that, they'll talk like they know about it because they know like some of the pieces of the language. And so then you have people that are just like, yeah.
Oh, he's so smart.
So smart. He's so smart.
He builds rockets that blow up.
Yeah.
Land in the Gulf of America.
I know.
It is actually appropriate that they changed it to Gulf of America, and all that shit just keeps falling in it.
It's great. It's great. I think that in this tangent is because it is funny that they're like, women need to be quiet so that whenever we talk, we sound like we're really super smart.
Yeah. And they don't ask questions that we can't answer, because that makes me feel really bad.
Right.
Like, they're like, wait, Paul said he saw Jesus on the road to Damascus. Was anybody there? And they're like, shh.
Yeah. Shh. They're like, shh. Cover your head and your mouth.
Put your head down.
Yeah, put your head down.
And have a baby. Shoot me out a baby.
Elizabeth says the apostle took it for granted that all men were wise enough to give women the necessary information on all subjects. As if like just because like you married a dude is like he's all of a sudden he's like just knows everything.
He's so smart.
He's so smart. I love the last things. Actually, this whole paragraph's good. Others again.
The whole thing is good.
We want to read the rest of it?
Yeah. Others again advise wives never to discuss knotty points with their husbands.
Love that phrase.
For if they should chance to differ from each other, that fact might give rise to much domestic infelicity, which is, isn't that nice?
I love it.
People are not going to get along if you question that they might not know what they're talking about.
Right.
And it'll be much easier if just the women don't talk.
Yeah. Like, how did
the women get chosen?
I know.
Go ahead.
No, go.
There is such a wide difference of opinion on this point among wise men that perhaps it would be as safe to leave women to be guided by their own unassisted common sense.
She's so sassy.
Thank you. What does Donald Trump put at the end of it?
Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Thank you for your attention to this matter. ECS.
And boom, and thank you. Oh my gosh. I'm going to start tweeting out as ECS and be like, and thank you for your attention to this matter.
ECS.
So you know what? I loved reading these because this was finally more of a like bitey thing.
Yeah.
Because the last couple of things we read, I was like, well, that's not so.
And this is very relevant. And it's really affecting them and us.
Woo! We did it. We did it.
And we even did it twice.
We did it, and we did it twice. And I want to know, did anybody have a stress ball or get mad? Even though I'm like, I imagine our lovely listeners are like, we're not mad because we already know that people think this stuff.
It's like more of a validation.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
But it is.
I knew Paul was a douche.
But it's great to know like the source. It's incredible that we still have cultural norms and laws that are from this like bullshit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's nuts.
And I don't think Jesus would like it.
I don't think you like it one bit.
Not at all.
And it doesn't
Paul
matter.
didn't see him.
Also, he's one dude.
One guy.
One guy. What about the bajillions of people that have lived since?
Yeah.
We don't like it.
Amazing, lovely people.
We don't like it. So I can't wait to see. So in our next episode, the epistles to the Ephesians and Philippians.
Philippians?
Is that what it is? The Philippians-offs?
They're not
right?
the Filipinos.
I can't wait to see what those say. I can't wait, And then we're also going to cover Timothy. And we're just wondering, what will they say? Like, will they tell us what to do with our shoes? Our lawns? Who knows what the men have in store? Did Paul write these too? Or you don't know?
Paul did all the letters.
He did?
But
not really.
right.
But I'm just saying, in
yeah.
common. Okay.
It's probably his people that came after him.
We do know our Victorian feminists will meet them with cracking wit and academic astuteness. So be sure to turn back in.
Don't turn back in.
Don't turn back in.
Although you could turn it in.
But don't
Tune
get put
in.
away. Don't get put away.
Don't get put away. Tune in.
So let me tell you this, though. The best thing about podcasts is you don't have to worry about your head covering or any rules like that. So
we never do that. No rules. No rules. We consider ourselves an anchor in the storm of oppressive, mean-spirited, surface-level thinking and mass propaganda. Isn't that something that you want to support?
I do. How can I?
Our podcast has no ads, so we need your support. You can do this by subscribing, commenting, leaving reviews, interacting on our socials.
Do it.
And most of all, by helping us spread the word. Share this podcast far and wide.
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 Yes.
So until the next episode,
hold your head high and your Bibles low.
Holla, holla. I like that we were both.
We went low with that.
Get
Have a
low,
good week,
get low.
y'all.
Have a good week. We'll see you later.